Hi guys, and welcome to the Echo Football King channel. So today I'm going to give you 5 tips for football accumulator betting. Remember, this is over 18s only, and please bet responsibly. I like to bet with small stakes. I always recommend you do, and don't chase your losses. So here we go. So what are my 5 top tips? Well, the first one is pretty self-explanatory. Always do your research. I'm never surprised about the amount of people that will just pick something they find on the internet. They get led quite easily by offers and things that and accumulators that are being pre-picked by the bookies. But, let's be honest, they're trying to make money from you. They're not always going to give you the best accumulator picks. Sometimes they'll put 1 or 2 in there that are there to design to slip up. So you just have to be very, very careful. And it's really easy to do the research, guys. So there are certain websites, so 4bet.com, for example. If you go on there, it'll give you the head-to-head stats. It will give you the last 5 matches stats. It even gives you trends as well. And you can go in there. It gives you a model, a computer predicted score that they think it's going to be. It's not always accurate, but you can get a really good indication by looking at the previous history of how the team's being performing to give you an idea of whether a team's going to win or not. There are various things to look at when you're trying to select a team. So what is their home form like? What is their away form like? What is their head-to-head experience like with that team? Are they a bogey team, for example? How have they been performing in Europe? Or have they had a game in Europe? Perhaps they'll be tired after playing midweek. Do they have any injuries or things like that? So there are so many things you can look at when you're making your selection. Sometimes it's just a gut feeling. You just get a sense of when you, certainly when you watch live football as well, you get a sense of whether a team's playing badly or poorly. Or sometimes they just seem to have a really good style that you think is going to fit in for against a particular team. So utilize all of that when you make your selections. Don't take it for granted. The second thing I'd like to say is or second tip really is to mix up your ACCAs. So a mistake that newbies make, or just people that get a bit overconfident, is they use the same team in all of their ACCAs. Now, football ACCA betting is probably some of the hardest betting you can do. Really difficult to get an ACCA that comes in. I'm just putting it out there. It's not so I can defend my own losses, but it will happen to everyone. Even the best selectors out there will be losing most of their ACCAs. The reason being is just football is an unpredictable game. You'll get teams that just have a bad day. You'll get red cards thrown in the mix. You'll get teams that just don't like the fact that they've travelled halfway across the country on a cold night and just don't put up much of a fight. There are so many reasons why a game can not go to plan. So it's really important that you mix up your ACCAs so you're not then dependent on 1 or 2 teams to come in for all of your ACCAs. There is nothing more frustrating, guys, than a slip-up which then takes out all your ACCAs in one. You then look in horror when the other 9 selections come in, but that one sort of banana peel has really messed it up for you. So always mix up your ACCAs, use different teams. It's a bit more tricky because then you have to get more selections, but believe me, you'll be thankful for it when you do get that team that slips up. The third tip is to sign up to all the bookie websites. Why wouldn't you? Okay, it doesn't mean you have to use them all, but first of all, you get really good welcome offers. So if you've never done betting before, you can get so many. You can probably get like 3 or 4 times your stake in terms of free bets. So it's really, really worth doing. They then give you other kind of bonuses like casino bets and all this type of thing if you're into that. So I really recommend that. The other option, and if you look at my other video as well about the best bookies, every bookie has different functions and different usability, and they have different offers on and things like that. So again, you might have a bookie that you only use like once every 6 months, but sometimes it can be really, really useful. Sometimes there might be an offer or something you see that's only available on a certain site. Quite often, like Paddy Power and Sky Bet, they'll do like the odd free £5 bet and things. So why not utilize that if you have the option? So really recommend to doing that. And please, if you find any sort of random bookies websites that perhaps I haven't heard about, or some of the other viewers might not have heard about, then leave a note in the comments and let us know about it. The fourth one is to use draw no bet. I think this is a really underrated option, especially when you're doing football accumulator betting. What is draw no bet? It is what it sounds. You either bet, win, loss or draw, but if you do the draw no bet option, it means that if that team doesn't win, i.e. they draw, then the bet is void. Now, in an accumulator betting sense, it literally does just avoid it for you. So then the bet returns to the remaining fixtures as to whether your accumulator wins or not. If you're just doing a one-off bet, then of course you get your stake returned to you. But the great thing about that is then you don't lose on your accumulator. I had a 15 ACCA bet come in on the weekend. The reason for that is I had 4 draw no bet options, all of which were voided. So if I'd just done a win only, that ACCA would have failed. But as it was, I got a 40-1 ACCA in at the weekend because I used the draw no bet option. So it's a real favourite of mine, guys. Really recommend it. I think it's underrated. Not a lot of people use it, but I think you should really give it a go. And finally, I really recommend using the 2-up option on bookie websites. The reason for this is if your team goes 2 goals clear or 2-0, or it could be 4-2, then you get paid out on their website. So again, a really, really useful option. I can't count the amount of times that I've thought, oh, I'm all clear, the team's 2-0 up, and then the other team comes back and it's 2-2, or they even win 3-2. It's the most annoying thing in the world. So bookies like Bet365, Ball Sport, Ladbrokes, they offer this 2-up function. Ball Sport offer a 1-up option. So really recommend it. So thanks, guys. That's all from me, and tune in for my other videos.